Welcome to BTBS. This is Jay. Today we will develop the Ansible role KVM Operate. This role has many functions. Today we will take a look at VM clone. This clone YAML file will clone the VM from base image to new one. We need this role for OKD VM. Today we will create VM clone YAML file and also we'll create playbook for testing. Okay, let's begin. Before starting developed VM clone YAML file, we will decide which variable we need. So create main YAML file under the default folder. Then we will decide which value we need. First of all, we need KVM information. So where is KVM, which storage pool we need, and VM data directory. So every time when we create VM, we need to store some information about the VM. So after we create the VM, we can get the information from this folder. And VM recreated. If there is same VM, we need to decide we will delete the VM and recreate it, or we just say fail because there is same name of VM. Now we will go to VM clone YAML file. Here, the first task, as usual, we create check logic. I check source VM and destination VM. I didn't specify source VM and destination VM in the main YAML. But this case, it is better to check because if there is no source VM or destination VM, it always fails and it is the right way to check it out. If we already set it, it's a little bit difficult to check it out because we need to check string. However, if we go with this way, we don't need to compare this parameter to specific string is defined or undefined. And next, if there is same VM, we need to delete or we just say fail. So we need to check there is same VM or not. For that, I'm gonna use Vert module. Just try to get information from the destination VM name. And then if there is not, it will fail. But it is okay because I added ignore errors. So even though there is no such a VM, that's okay. It is error, but it will keep going with these parameters. With the output from this task, we will check the VM exists or not. If the VM exists with the VM create true, then it will go through. However, if VM recreated value is false, it will fail. So here we will check that part. We will go through this task and we will make it stop. The VM should be stopped before we delete. We wait for stopping and then we will delete the VM and we will give this parameter, which means we will delete all storage that related to this VM. So that is the previous checking logic. After that, what we should do, we will create a VM data directory and then our main job, the clone. For this clone task, I will use block. Block means I'm gonna use several command line inside one task. So if some specific condition is met, and then those whole several tasks will be executed. It is like a one command line. This is for clone task. So first, we just make sure the VM, the source VM stopped. If source VM is running, it is not possible to clone. So we make sure the source VM is stopped. And then we wait. for the VM stop, and then clone. We using command line 1 2 3 4. I know Ansible Galaxy doesn't like command line to change any status, anything on the host. However, virt module is preview state, so I'm just using virt clone and virt directly. But if later the virt module is G8, I'm gonna change it. But at the moment, I'm gonna use it. So here, I clone the VM and also I change the memory size. Sometimes I want to change the memory size CPU, but in here, I'm just using memory. So change max memory and change the memory. Alright, after that, it is same as before. Get the MAC address and then find the bridge device name, then wait for IP. Then after running, then we will write the data information on that specific directory. After that, we will access to the new VM and change host name. There is several ways to add known host. In my case, I'm using SSH key scan. However, there are several ones, so you can choose any of them. So at the end, we changed the host name. Then it's done. We already got the clone. So let's run the playbook. This is playbook for testing. As I developed before, we have role, so we will test it. First thing is clone VM. This is role name. I just import role, and then I give several variable. Here, kind and operate is mandatory one, and source VM and destination VM, they are also mandatory for clone. However, this VM network bridge and destination VM hostname are optional. So if you want to change the bridge name or host name, you can specify. If you don't want, you don't need to specify that. So let's run the playbook. So it's fast. We already get the VM and they waiting for IP address. Then we change the hostname now. It's done. It's pretty fast. Let's take a look at. There is cloned VM. So where is source VM? It's here. It is inactive. So as I mentioned before, without stopping the source image, it is not possible to clone. So first of all, we need to stop the source VM. So let's go into the cloned VM. So how can we know the VM IP? We already store that information on the specific folder. So where is it? Is here. The name is here 311 and master, and then here VM info. So inside this file, we can find IP address and host name. Actually, the host name is from VM, so we already assume that the host name is changed. The base image, the host name was base.example.com. So let's verify that. First of all, I need to get into the VM. So 192, 168, 200, and 191. The with CentOS user ID, we can go inside. So here, host name. Okay, master1.example.com. It is internal one. So let's take a look at IP address. It is 191. Definitely, we get into there, right? And then df, okay, 20 gigabyte. So it is cloned VM. We can confirm that we have cloned the VM from base image. It's done. Thank you.